Risk is all about risk. We know about your home is at risk. If you fail to get repayments on the mortgage, that's fine. Okay. So are you cautious, balanced, or adventurous? You're going to ask that question. It's probably a question in fact find. You know, how do you regard your rate of your risk profile? Would you say you were cautious? Would you say you're adventurous, etc.? It's not a daft question to ask a customer. It's a very good question, actually, because if they're really cautious and really, etc., you're going to sell protection because they're worried about stuff like that, Obviously, high loan to values, risk of negative equity, and that's not a good thing, obviously, because, by the way, you only suffer from negative equity if you sell your house. If you're in negative equity and you don't sell your house, it's not a problem, is it? You just got to stay there a bit longer till house prices improved. So interest rate risk. Are you worried about interest rates going up? In which case you will look at fixed or cap rates. So that's okay. So interest rate risk. Again, are you cautious, balanced, or adventurous? If it's risk and you're presumably cautious, then it'll be a fixed or cap rate. Fixed rate risk. Do a really good fixed rate, and then the rate comes down and you're stuck on your fixed. Oh, well, never mind. But it's a possibility, so clients have to be aware of that, okay? And also, of course, if you've got a fixed rate and your fixed rate comes to an end, you think, oh, so can I do another fixed rate or something like that? But in the meantime, interest rates have gone up quite a lot, significantly. So although you might get another rate at the end, it'll be probably a lot higher than what you're paying now, or the fixed or discount, whatever it is. So yeah. That's why we do stress testing. What would happen if? Could you afford it, etc. Okay, and that's why on our thing here we do 80% of free disposable income, because that's a wiggle room then, of how much they can afford per month, and if it goes up, they can afford it. Okay. Obviously, there was the risk, the investment vehicle running alongside an interest in which may not perform to expectations. We're going to look at endowments now they didn't perform later on, but that's also another risk. You've got an interest-only mortgage. You've got to monitor your product, your repayment vehicle, to make sure it does accumulate sufficient money at the end. So yeah, absolutely. So somebody's got to grasp the nettle and manage that for you, for the client, because the client won't do it. You've got to actually be on it. Say, look, we've got the annual statement, it's on target. I always used to do that.